What it do, Crispy Crew? I'm glad you tuned in for another video of mine. Today we're doing something called Deep Dives with Depth. Yes, I have a script. That's what we're doing now, alright? We're just open the Deep Dives with Depth. Why am I doing this? Because my recent commentary videos have been flopping and are not well constructed. So, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Picture this. You are having a nice evening out with friends, drinking a Bud Light or whatever niggas drink nowadays, and cracking jokes while watching the Lakers game. Somehow the topic of women comes up, and your friend starts to have very concerning ideals. He says that women belong in the kitchen and are only attracted to alpha males until they realize they are not good enough for them. And based on how they are treated, they'll settle for this nice guy, which, let's be honest, is usually never actually the nice guy. But yeah, they settle for the nice guy or anything of that sort, right? And then it's just like later down the road in life, that's what they're accustomed to now. So now they just think every relationship is toxic and this, that, and third, oh man, and all that. And overall, just a very concerning, a horrible and misogynistic view on women. And they're wondering where this stems from. The actions, mindsets, and of people like Andrew Tate, Sneeko, Fresh and Fit, and basically along with the other YouTubers in the red pill space, have angered a good portion of left-wing politics, or political sphere, my fault, in recent years. The origin of this type of content is a bit fuzzy and heavily discussed. Me personally, I don't know where it started, but hopefully today we can get to the bottom of it. Red pill space on the internet, where mostly conservative viewpoints are favored or expressed, usually in the sense that this is the truth and that folks need to wake up. Hence the term red pill. As you can see here, yes, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Ignore this. Alright, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't even know if y'all even seen anything, but yeah, the red pill. Hold on. What is the red pill? Today we will be discussing. Can y'all even see that? It's backwards. That's a problem. What is the red pill? Today we'll be discussing this. As you can see, I'm a little new to this whole structured video, so you're gonna have to cut me some slack. You're gonna have to stay with me. But anywho, based off of my understanding, at the very least, the red pill is a space on the internet where mostly conservative viewpoints are favored or expressed, usually in the sense that it is the truth and that folks need to wake up. Hence the term the red pill, which was stolen from the movie The Matrix, where the main character Neo takes the red pill to escape the fabricated reality and all that. You know, usual crap you see in type of sci-fi movies. That's a dystopia of the sort. I think in that movie it was trying to say that society was a dystopia, and that folks need to, in order to like really get the truth in life, they need to take the red pill. Or at least in that movie, that's what some people can get out of that. Me personally, I didn't watch the movie, so we started off as a community to help men improve themselves as the belief that men are weaker than ever at the current moment of society, which I can kind of agree with. As a society, men are told not to be men. Men are also just generational, are weaker than we've ever been in most cases. And generally, just like, it's kind of been a war and a separated divide between masculinity and femininity, and like what it means to be truly masculine and toxic masculinity and all these different terms that's been basically just like having men question themselves, or at least young men question themselves all throughout our generation. Depending on who you're talking to, this could be a relatively true statement. In order to really decipher where it really started, I need to go all the way to the beginning. The earliest I can find when recording is the Red Pill subreddit page. This is a subreddit where most of the online community of the Red Pill originates, from what I've seen. Unfortunately, the original page is taken down. No matter how hard I looked for it, I just never was able to find it. I'm reporting this in a public space, so you gotta cut me some slack here. Yeah, no matter how hard I looked for it, I can never find the original Red Pill subreddit. So I've had to take a bunch of, or at least look at a bunch of screenshots from my research. However, at this current moment, there are a lot of carbon copies of the original Red Pill space on the subreddit, or not carbon copies, but a lot of just copies in general with their format, which is different philosophies. There's the black pill, there's the purple pill, there's the blue pill. Ironic, right? Just a bunch of different stuff, right? However, a common consensus for those who know about this red pill space is that the participants and members are viewed as incels and misogynists. Now, for a little bit of background, if you don't know what an incel is, it basically means that an involuntary celibate person, which means it could be literally anybody who doesn't get laid, or it's usually used for the term for niggas who can't get laid. So in this case, it's basically just saying, oh, you don't get bitches, but times 10. That's basically what it's saying. Overall, just men who don't understand women is what these people are labeled as. Folks believe that these men objectify the women they encounter and speak about, and considering some of the things they say regularly, the people who view them might be onto something. A common and famous quote that from the original subreddit that I was able to find was, "A woman is a lock and a man is a key. If a key opens a lot of locks, it is a master key. But if one lock is opened by lots of keys, it is a dodgy lock." Red pill. Which may be true for keys and locks, but for human beings, not exactly. If you are a whore, you are a whore. It does not matter if you are a man or woman. I can see what they're getting at, but personally, I think it might be a bit of a stretch. Really though, it did start off as a self-improvement for young men, or a self-improvement space for young men, I should say, turning into a female nature podcast boiling point, ended up being the route that for some reason most people seem to zone in and focus on. But I gotta sneeze. It only started to snowball as many self-help YouTubers began to adopt this mindset and started making their entire content based on this philosophy. The breed of people with mindsets similar to this, like Andrew Tate, Sneeko, Kevin Samuels, Steph Too Cold, and formerly Von Too Cut, which I don't think he does content anymore, but he has helped me do a lot of just improvement type of content. But he did actually end up going into this red pill space for just like a tad bit before going into spirituality. But that's a whole different video for when Suleiman goes on a rant again. These folks tended to rise into the limelight. Not all of these names abide by the red pill, but have similar views to it. It helps it blows up for the most part. As said before, the space is seen as angry men with microphones. As this happens, it creates much discourse on the internet, calling for individuals like this to be deplatformed, as they say. It creates harmful images in young men and steers them toward an unhealthy view of women, most folks would believe. However, they believe this isn't the case, and that society brainwashes the masses to think otherwise, which could be true, but who am I to say? I'm just reporting this shit. I just realized there's a bunch of typos in my script, so now I have to fix this. So, yeah.
Now that we got the past and some of the present taken care of, where do I see this going and developing? Personally, I see this going either a very dark place or a somewhat bright resolution. Dark place I see this going is that these chronically online people with these questionable worldviews end up going outside and spreading this idea, which is going to be very horrible, but causing more men to be as violently angry about this, creating an even further divide between men and women, which is critical in order to solve any issue as a nation or even in international stance. Right resolution is that it all blows over eventually, and we just look back at this as another internet craze that we forgot happened. And most of these red pill folks will fade into the background of our life, most likely not harming anyone mentally or physically. Just a disclaimer, however, some viewpoints about the red pill I kind of agree with, and it actually isn't as bad as some folks may seem, at least at face value at the very least. Let me explain. Within the red pill, it is encouraged that men are putting themselves first. It is encouraged that men are not only putting themselves first, but doing things to improve themselves mentally, physically, and financially. At least those are the main three. Of course, there's other ways to improve yourself, but just in general, it means like you need to like focus on yourself instead of constantly chasing women. But unfortunately, it's been turned to the exact opposite, and basically just been turned into a pool of people who have very weird views on relationships and how men and women should interact with each other. That's how it has turned into. But in reality, it's really just like the overall message. The red pill is more just like stop chasing these women, bro, and just like really just get on your stuff, bro. Just get on your stuff. That's all you need to do. But that's not really why it blew up. It blew up because niggas are obsessed with talking about women. And the niggas who watch the red pill videos are still obsessed with talking about women or having an opinion on women matters or what women should do and how men are superior and how all women are the same and all this other stuff. But that being said, it's kind of weird because they took all this time obsessing over talking about women instead of talking to women. So that's where it kind of misconstrues. So they don't know the truth because they don't actually talk to these women. But I don't know. I could be totally wrong on this one. But what are y'all opinions on this matter? Make sure to like, subscribe, comment on this video how you feel about this. And let me know if this type of video format is something that I should do more of. That being said, I'll catch y'all later.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, it's like the only thing we can really leave behind is music.